Good evening. Can I please have everyone sit down? Okay, we do have quorum, so the meeting will be starting. Okay, if I can have everyone stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Please, with the flag right here, right hand over your heart. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening. Thank you everyone for coming. It's so good to see so many people here this evening. We will be starting with our roll call.
Vera Del Pozo. Here. Rafa Chagoya. Be late. Beatrice Ochoa. Not going to be present. Fanny Ortiz. Not here. Stephen Almanza. Minor Godoy. Nicole Martin. Marisol Sanchez. Rita Rodriguez. That's a typo. Antonio Bastilla. Joel Ojeda. Margarita Amador. Felipe, here. Joe Diaz, not present. Carlos Montes. Diana del Pozo Mora. Maria Ocampo. Carlos Cortez. Antonio Soto, or Anthony.
We do have quorum, so we will continue with General Romero. Thank you very much. Okay, we do have quorum. We do have our 10. So we will start with general public comment. The first one we'll start with will be Vivian Ricolvada. She's with Metro. Would you like to start, please, until we get more of our board members here?
Vivian Riscaldo, and I am the project manager for the Mariachi Plaza. And we were asked just to kind of give you a quick little update. I also want to introduce one of our consultants, Lee Christie with Perkins & Will, an architectural firm that's helping us with the charrettes. And for those of you in the audience, if you want, we have the handout out here if you want to follow along. But I just want to give you an overview of what we've been doing with Mariachi Plaza. If you turn to the next page, we had 2 charrettes, one on Saturday, February 27th, 10 to 12, and one on Wednesday evening, March 9th, both at Salesian High School. We had about 70 people participating. We had 10 workshop tables. I see a number of you here that were in attendance. Very successful. People were working together in groups. They were put together randomly and really looking at what should happen on Mariachi Plaza. There was no pretext. There was no ideas. It's like, what are your ideas? And so if you turn to the next page, this is the property we're talking about. This map here that shows the area in yellow. Mariachi Plaza itself, where the metro station is and the portal and the kiosk, that's all going to remain. But we own the property behind there that is 27,000 square feet and the other 6,000 square foot lot. And our idea, one of the thoughts is maybe to bridge it together through a small vacation over Bailey, but that's something we want to talk about the city. And I'm going to turn it over right now to Lee to kind of go over how we work through the charrettes and what's next.
Sure, good evening. I'll try to be brief, and if there's more questions, we'll be available as a sidebar in the back, or of course you can email us later. So basically, we really wanted this to be a listening session. Our team is here as facilitators, we're not here as designers, and so it was really trying to set the stage to understand who people came into the community meeting and out in the Las Fotos project, who they surveyed what they wanted. So in order to facilitate an actual conversation, we broke down in small tables, but then we had a report back at the end. And that report back, if you flip, turned into part of the exercise, in addition to the explaining of what was talked about at the tables, was a kind of, this is what we really would like to see here, and this is what we really would not like to see here, in an organization of green and red dots on certain program types. So flipping to the next page. You can see that a series of presentations were made for each table. And I think it kind of came out at the end, there were some certain patterns and trends between the tables. So what we did is we took that information, tallied it all up, came back to the second charrette, did a report back. This is what we heard on the first one. Many people overlapped, many new people. The format seemed to work really well, so we broke out in tables again. These were about 10 to 15 people to have an in-depth, nuanced discussion about what these implications would mean, to try to get more specific about what should go on the site in terms of what the community is looking for. I'm not going to go over the actual responses right now, but just the process. So if you flip again, then you can see a trend in categories of use. So we looked at public civic, public open space, education, which is sort of a civic kind of thing, commercial office, commercial retail, and residential. And we had more specific conversations to try to hone in the nuances of those. Much participation, and then at the end we came back together, did a report back, and actually tried to do a little consensus building and prioritization as a discussion of a larger group. And so what we're looking at next is a series of stakeholder meetings, and maybe Vivian can talk about the stakeholders.
We're going to be having now, because of our meetings, we did, in order to reach out to the community, we have a 1,500 list email blast. We also went with flyers door to door in the immediate vicinity with our outreach consultant to get people there. So now what we want to do is we want to have individual focus groups. We want to meet with the mariachis and the users of the Mariachi Plaza, because it's used for public space right now. We want to meet with the homeowners in the area. We want to meet with tenant groups. We want to meet with cultural organizations. We want to meet with youth, art. We want to meet with the First Street businesses, and kind of have small talking groups presenting the consensus. And we hope to have some development guidelines, just guidelines, so that we can do a request for proposal for a developer. And so we'd like to come to you guys back in either June or July and to present what our guidelines would be, so that we can formulate our RFP, so that we can go out with something in the fall. So that's kind of our timeline. If you have any questions, please let me know. And also, if any of you, as members of the DRAC, are interested, and I have listed here on the last page, the type of focus groups that we're talking about, but as representatives of this community, if you want to be part of any one of those focus groups, call me, let me know which focus group you'd be interested in attending in terms of speaking for that particular board. I'm sorry to have my back to you. And let me know, and because we're going to have it through April and May, different dates, but we're trying to get groups of about 20 people so that we can work kind of collaboratively. But since you represent this community, you know, I want to let you know that we'd like you to participate, and give me a call and let me know. And that's it. Also, I want to announce on Saturday, April 16th, we are going to be, and you're going to be receiving an email. I want to make sure you guys are getting my emails, right? My email blast. We are going to be having the charrette for Chavez and Pickett, which at one time was proposed for different things. One time a grocery store. That's still a possibility. We want to hear from the community. And also a follow-up on May 4th in the evening. We're kind of working through the location. Some people want to move it from Salesian to make it closer to Pickett, but we just have to find the right venue. Salesian High School, they have a good setup so that we can have a lot of people and accommodate them well. So you'll be getting an email blast, but just to let people know. And if anybody here is interested, give me your name and we'll put you on our list. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so very much. Okay, we're back to general comments. Oscar Morales from LACSD.
Good evening, my name is Oscar Morales. I'm a project engineer for LA County Sanitation Districts. I'm here today to provide a status update on one of our projects called the Indiana Street Pumping Plant Generator Installation Project. We were here a couple of months ago in early December to provide a general overview of the project, which mainly consists of the installation of a backup generator to act as a standby power source for one of our existing sewage pumping plants. The site is located at 207 North Indiana Street, and the generator itself will be contained within a building that will resemble a house, as shown on that rendering back there. We prepared frequently asked question sheets in both Spanish and English, left several copies on the table back there. The contract has been awarded and construction will be starting in about a month or so, so let's say early May. Again, frequently asked question sheets are back there, and we'll stick around for a bit with that and specific questions that are ready to
Okay, and that, Oscar, the handout we gave you is regarding that, correct? So that anyone can review that?
Yes, yes.
You all have one in front of you. Thank you very much. Okay, next we have Luz Castillo from the Census Bureau. Did everyone get your envelope?
Hi, good afternoon. Again, I'm Luz Castillo with the U.S. Census Bureau. I was here last month and I made a presentation about the 2016 test that we're conducting. And we're conducting this test again to prepare for the 2020 census. We're testing new technologies and new methodologies. One of the biggest technology is that everybody will be able to answer their census questionnaire online. So some of you, actually, hopefully most of you already received something in the mail. It went out March 21st. So if you haven't received them, most likely you'll get it soon. It's going out to everybody in Boyle Heights. Actually, it includes over 225,000 households. So from Boyle Heights all the way up to Eagle Rock, all the way up to like Pasadena, San Marino, going south to Temple City, Rosemead, and many other cities. So if you got your letter, then it should have a link or a website for you to go to. When you go to that website, it will allow you to select a questionnaire in 4 different languages: English, Spanish, Chinese, and Korean. So you can complete it online with a different language. And I do have a flyer in the back for those of you in the audience, and it also has the link here. So this is something that we can share with the community. We do plan to be at various community events from now until May 20th to help individuals answer their census form and also to answer any questions or concerns. This weekend we will be at the farmers market here, the Boyle Heights Farmers Market. On Saturday we will be at State Park Rec Center. They're having a special event. And then also at the Hazard Park Health and Resource Center. So again, if you know also of any other community events that we should be at or any meetings where we should go speak, feel free to let me know because we do want to get the participation here in the community to get as many people to answer their census form. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. We now have Ari Lucianis from VHI Schools.
Hi, thank you so much. Well, the BHC is the Building Healthy Communities Initiative. Building Healthy Communities Boyle Heights. It's a grant by the California Endowment. My organization, Latino Equality Alliance, is one of 34 organizations that is part of the initiative. I happen to also be a co-chair to the schools campaign. And what we're doing there is advocating for new money, supplementary funds that the state of California has issued to the school districts called LCFF funds, Local Control Funding Formula funds. So these are extra money, and we want for the school district to invest extra money in Boyle Heights. So, and other high-need communities. So we're working in coalition with South and Southeast LA campaigns similar to ours to advocate, and we're getting the community involved and students involved about this. Now, what brings me here today is that when the new superintendent came on board, we had the bright idea to invite her to a community forum. And she accepted. And of course, I came here to find out what are the dates available for this space. And there was one date that was not available the whole month, and that was the date that you guys meet. Well, it turns out that the superintendent has given us a date of May 25th, which happens to be the date that you guys are meeting. So I'm here to ask for your support for our campaign, but also to consider possibly moving your meeting one day or another, and or joining us in this event so that we can have a community opportunity. So I know it's a brave ask of you, and I know it means a lot to the community to have stability in these type of meetings. I know because I try to advocate for that as well. However, the chances of our getting the superintendent to agree to this, and also that it happened to be on the day that you guys meet, were, you know, astronomical. And also, there are very few spaces that are community-based in Boyle Heights that can accommodate the number of people that we plan to have. So, you know, if you have any specific questions, I'd be glad to answer. I do have a sample agenda. I could produce an email where she told us this is the date. You know, like I said, it's a community members, students that we plan to get here. We are working with the students that are upstairs. What are they? The college track. And we had already spoken to them about possibly having to use the space on the day that they were using it. So anyway, that's where we are, and so I thought I would, since we do have a little bit of time before that date, we do need to notify the school district and start our marketing around this. So I thought I would take advantage of today's meeting and the opportunity to ask.
Thank you. Thank you so very much. We have Jezebel Leon from CSO.
My name is Jezebel Leon. I'm here along with CSO to support the deferred action, specifically GAPA. And okay. Number 6. Okay. And I just wanted to show support and to also mention that it has affected me as well in the fact.
Thank you very much. Okay, we're asking her to please wait until we have that item come up on our agenda, and then she can speak. The next one is Maureen Lithap, and this is regarding, she's a resident. Maureen?
I thought it was just a sign-in.
Oh, okay, thank you very much. Teresa Marquez, and I want everyone to know that Teresa Marquez was just voted the president of the Mothers of East LA. Should I give her a hand? So we're trying to come back.
Anonymous. Always. When I run, it's always anonymous. You should know that. Thank you very much. Like I said, my name is Teresa Marcus, and I don't want to lecture. Okay, I don't want it to be a lecture, but I want to know, where were you on March 12th when Garcetti came to our community to help us go door to door to inform people that their yard is contaminated to a high degree of being so dangerous that their children cannot play in their yard? I want to know where you guys all were, because there was nobody from the neighborhood council. Were you there? Okay, Margarita was. But I want to know where Carlos and Antonio was, because that is a very historical movement. Garcetti came to help us, and he did a wonderful job. They were able to sign up over 250 homes for cleanup. And we have not been able, DTSC, the state of California, has only been able to assign 200 in 2 years. So you could see that in 2-3 hours, Garcetti was able to do what the state of California has not been able to do. And we need you, every one of you, to help us with this. People are not going to say, yes, come in and clean up our house. Or they're not going to listen to strangers. And that's what's happened with DTSC. They come in, they don't speak Spanish, so we need the community to help us. If you know anybody that lives in the contaminated area, which it could be any place in Loyal Heights, please let them know what's going on. They are going on Saturday, they're going to have some information, blood testing and everything right here in Benjamin Franklin. If you don't go to them, they're going to come to you. So please try to come and at least learn something about what's going on, and please get involved. Please. This is historical, and we need each one of you to help us. To tell your neighbor, to tell somebody you know, a relative, anyone you know, your church, any organization that you go to. Please let them know of the contamination, blood testing, and the cleanup that needs to be done. Governor Brown has proposed $186 million to start the cleanup. That's only half of the money we need. We need another $200 million to really clean up the houses. And they need to be clean, or they're gonna have to be, people cannot go in their yard. But it is really important, please, let everybody know. Please help us to do the outreach. I can only count on you, and you're the only ones that can do this. Thank you.
Thank you, Carrie. I have Jared Hamill, but you can speak after. And then we have Dr. John Fernandez regarding Dan Takanishi. Where is he? There you go.
Good evening. Thank you very much, Madam Chair, for giving me the opportunity to speak today. Real briefly, last Monday, a giant in the field of Asian American Studies, a man by the name of Dan Takanishi, passed away. He was a graduate of Roosevelt High School. He was also the former student body president of Roosevelt High School. He's a pioneer. He's a giant in Asian American Studies. He's like, you know, about South Casual, he's like South Casual. He's a giant in the field of Asian American Studies. I had the pleasure of taking a class with him when I was working on my PhD, a great scholar, a great person. So I'm here just to urge the neighborhood council here to commemorate, to honor him with a card, with some type of contribution or whatever. I wasn't able to bring anything from the internet. It's all over the internet, so it would be appropriate for this neighborhood council to honor him in any way they can. At any rate, it's all over the internet, and you know, like I said, he was a Roosevelt High School grad. He said that he was a Chicano first before he was an Asian American. Imagine that, because he was from the hood. He was from the hood. So thank you very much.
Thank you. We will now go to government reports. Franklin.
All right, thank you, Terry. Well, good afternoon. My name is Franklin Ochoa. I'm the field deputy for Councilmember Jose Huizar. I have one quick update. Our office has been working on Earth Day for our office. Earth Day is next. It's April 22nd. It's on a Friday. Our event is the following day, Saturday, April 23rd. So it's going to consist of multiple cleanups in Bow Heights. I know in the past, our office, whenever we've had an Earth Day event, or whenever we've had any cleanups, it's always been one cleanup, one centralized cleanup. Well, this year we're taking a different path. We have already identified some organizations that are willing to take over an area and clean it on that day. So, for example, we have Mr. Diaz and Mr. Lee at the Bow Heights Youth Tech Center that will be cleaning in that area on 4th and Pecan, 4th and West. We have a neighborhood watch by William and Lorena that will be taking over an area over there with 15-20 members from the neighborhood watch, and they will be cleaning that area. The neighborhood council has also committed to cleaning up an area. We don't have any flyers yet that will give you most of the information. They should be ready by the end of this week. We will email them to everyone on the board and every contact that we have to give you the information. So that day is going to consist of two things. The cleanup is from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. If you want to volunteer, please give us a call in our office. If you don't have a specific area, we can give you a group that's already either cleaning that area or a new area, so that we can cover Bow Heights as much as we can. So after the cleanup from 9 to 12, back here in the parking lot, our office will be hosting a community barbecue and a resource fair. We're going to have DWP, we're going to have Lane, we're going to have different organizations that are going to give information, resources regarding the environment and how we can make it better. So it's going to be April 23rd. If you have any questions, please give us a call. We can direct you towards either a group that's working in that area, or if you want to start a cleanup in another area, we will be more than happy to lead you towards the right way. Our office will be providing all of the tools, the brooms, the shovels, the gloves, the bags, everything will be coordinated with sanitation. So all we need is willing people that want to empower yourselves and the community to come out and clean it for Earth Day. So if you have any questions, please give us a call, or I'm here for any questions now. Terry?
If you're going to do it in a contamination area, which is highly contaminated, I would suggest for them to wear that.
Okay, that's something that I'll
I don't know
take
if
with
you're
you.
going to do it in that area.
I'll make sure to talk to the constituents a little bit. Any other questions? All right, cool. Thank you very much.
Thank you. As soon as either Raphael or Marisol show up, we'll determine what area we want, since both of them are responsible for that kind of stuff. Okay, the next, is there anyone here with any other government, city, or organization that would like to make a comment? He left. Okay, so we're now go forward. The next thing is the minutes, and our secretary is on vacation in Cuba, so we don't have our minutes, so we will do it next time, Julia. Okay. Field trip. Okay, we'll now go to committee reports. Outreach, Stephen, this will go to you.
So for the first item, the HMC Call for Candidates Forum. For the past 3 Saturdays, beginning at the end of February and the first 2 Saturdays of March, we held a forum where we had open to the public for any individual in the community who wants to learn more about how to run for Wall Heights Neighborhood Council. For the first meeting, we had about 6 to 7 individuals show up. The second meeting, we had a total of 1 individual show up, and then for the third meeting, I was not in attendance, but Rafa and Mago were in attendance, and from those meetings we were able to secure at least 3 individuals who actually signed up to be part of the candidate registration, which is great. For item number 2, discussion regarding candidate workshop region 8, one thing that we really want to focus on as a neighborhood council is moving forward. There are 96 neighborhood councils in LA, and in Region 8, that includes Arroyo Seco, Boyle Heights, Eagle Rock, Greater Cypress Park, Glassell Park, Highland Park, LA 32, and Lincoln Heights. It's very important that we all work together to ensure that more individuals know about the power of neighborhood councils. So this event essentially served as a purpose of informing individuals to learn more about neighborhood councils and also to sign up for their appropriate neighborhood if they'd like. And for the third item, this was a discussion for our outreach meeting. This was to determine what else we can do to improve our outreach for candidate registration. Yesterday was the final date for candidate registration, so that deadline has closed. But in terms of our outreach efforts, we have a total of 26 candidates who have registered online successfully for 19 positions. So we have 17 individuals who are running for 14 seats for community seats. We have 3 individuals who are running for 1 community interest seat, 1 individual who's running for Area 1 seat. Two individuals running for Area 1 seat, 2 individuals running for Area 2 seat, 1 individual running for Area 3, and 1 for 4. So the only seat that's not being contested is Area 4, and the rest are up for election. So on March 22nd, we will have our election, and May 22nd, we will have our election. Oh my goodness. Yeah. On May 21st, we're going to have our election here at Wall Heights City Hall, and it's really important as the council that we work together to promote that. I know many individuals currently on this board are running for re-election, so in order for us to have a huge turnout for our community, we want to make sure that every single individual here on this board reaches out and does appropriate outreach efforts to have as many individuals vote as possible. Nicole, I don't know if you have anything else to add in terms of the outreach efforts, or for...
I have been requested to move the Rules and Election Committee report up to go for now before the planning and land use. Can I have anyone make a motion, please? Okay.
which is discussion of possible recommendation for Beacon newspaper ad renewal for a quarter page. I know we have someone from the Beacon who can speak on behalf of providing future funding for Beacon, so. Okay. Do you want to come up to discuss the opportunity to have the neighborhood council advertise? Well, just to update.
Good evening, everyone. My name is George Cabrera. I'm the marketing director for our community newspaper called the Community Beacon. Our paper is now going on our third year. We started with 10,000 issues in black and white. We now have a total distribution and circulation of 35,000 copies, which are distributed to El Sereno, Lincoln Heights, Boyle Heights. We are also expanding now to Hyden Park and Eagle Rock. And I wanted to say at this time that I understood your paper, or your community, Boyle Heights community. You've been having your advertising on there for almost a year, a good year. And just wanted to bring up to your attention, folks, this is a great way to outreach the community. There's no other publication, especially within the community, next to the Eastern Blue publication, which is also a bilingual newspaper, and also a fine newspaper in this community. And at this time, I understood that you're going to make a motion on the floor to reduce the size from a full page, what you see right there on page 5, to a quarter page. And I would say at this time that I would recommend to the board, if not a whole page, why obtain a half page? You get a lot more in a half page than you do in a quarter page, and I'll tell you why. And we figured that, especially with the advertising that we have in our community, people read a lot of we have a lot of resources in our newspaper. It's very resourceful. We have very informative stories which cover all the communities which I mentioned to you. And I think it would be best if the board votes for the half page instead of the quarter page. Thank you.
And George, can you give us the financial breakdown of the page and the half page, what that looks like? How much would it cost to have a full page ad, as opposed to a half page ad, as opposed to a quarter page ad?
For the full page ad, we're talking about 3 issues. It's $650. It comes out to $1950. For 6 issues, it comes out to $600 per issue. It's $36,600. For a half page, are you copying this down? Okay. Okay. For a half page, it's $400 per issue, which comes out to $400 for 3 issues. For 6 issues, it's $300 per issue, which comes out to $1,800. For a quarter page ad, it's $225 per issue. That's for 3 issues. That's a total of $675. And 6 issues is $150 per issue, and that's a total of $900. So you have a breakdown right there. And if you want more, I have additional copies. I'll be passing out to you this evening.
George, I think there's some questions for you. Does anyone have comments? Margo?
Again, I didn't support even, contracting community weekend just because, again, how effective has this been to really get people to come, to participate, to engage is my question. Second, we do have the Boyle Heights Week. They've always offered to provide free advertisement for the neighborhood council. It's up to us to, work with them in order to get that service. It's about reducing the use of paper. I'm a true believer that, people are more technology savvy, right? We all tend to utilize our devices, our computers. You have your few that still probably use, print. But again, it's about utilizing services within Boyle Heights. We are accountable to the community of Boyle Heights. Boyle Heights does have a Boyle Heights Week, which is operated at no cost to the community with youth reporters, which really, again, supports those efforts of supporting the youth. So again, I personally just would prefer not to even, consider, again, maintain my stance and, trying to look for resources that are free, that we have already available, disposable to us as a community here in Boyle Heights. Not a question.
Thank you. Any other comments? Carlos?
I want to support on behalf of renewing the ad for the beacon, because first of all, it's very economical. Everywhere I go in Boyle Heights, I see the paper. Every library, every restaurant, and I see people looking at it. And it's trilingual, Spanish, English, and Chinese. And, we've got a whole, ad in there. We've had our ads in the past in color. So I think that many people in our community read papers. I know that our newer generation, older folks, they're not, we're getting into Facebook ads, right? But not everybody's into it, not everybody's into social media. Our young people are, right? They're doing social media, they won't read anything on paper. But many people in our community do the radio and the newspaper. So I would suggest, I would recommend that we review it another year. It's very nominal cost for what we're paying. And it's also being distributed at no additional cost.
My comment is, it goes to the community, fine, but what's the possibility, because I went to a meeting out of Boyle Heights, GI Drive, I can go out of Boyle Heights, and I picked up the paper, and it's nothing with Boyle Heights. I want the whole area to know what Boyle Heights is doing. The fact that you put our ad for the minimum people that live here, they're going to get the paper anyway, so it's not like we're giving them, we're paying for them to get the paper. But I want not only people work elsewhere, they live here, everything. I want to know, why can't everybody see our ad? Why can't El Sereno see our ad? Why can't Alley 32 see our ad? Why can't all the other neighborhood councils? Because we're being limited. I'm sorry, I'm talking to George. Can you answer me that? Or consider it, or?
Okay, I fully agree with you. I like your idea, your concept that you're saying right now about the Boyle Heights community. We also had that problem with other communities too. You know, with El Reno, Lincoln Heights, Highland Park, and Eagle. What we've been trying to do now, okay, we contact the neighborhood councils, the leaders in the neighborhood councils. We also make announcements particularly on those deadlines that we have to meet. Now we've been getting more cooperation. You'll see it in the next issue, okay? You're going to see more residents on those communities, El Reno, Lincoln Heights, Boyle Heights, Highland Park. Eagle Rock, not as much, but Highland Park will. But I can tell you this right now, is that we're trying our best right now to do what we can, you know, for the newspaper, and also for the community to benefit from our newspaper. Like I said, it's very resourceful. I know that Diana, I'll give you a perfect example. Diana, okay, she now works for Barrio Action. And would you believe that Barrio Action is now taking advantage of community beacons, okay? And we appreciate that, Dan. We really do, okay? Because when you do something like that, okay, it's a notice, you know, to the community.
So, George, firstly, I want to thank you for providing such great advertising for the Boyle Heights Neighborhood Council. So, whenever we do have an event at the Franklin Library or whenever I see the newspaper, it's great to just have something physical. So, I do like that component. Just to piggyback off of what Mamo said, I do agree that we should also do.
Mi nombre es Baldomero Capiz, soy miembro del concilio. Yo soy nuevo dentro de este grupo. Creemos que es importante que tengan un medio de difusión, porque si no se aislaría la comunidad de Boyle Heights. El medio de información es sumamente importante en estos momentos, porque vemos que en las reuniones asiste poca gente, poca presencia de la comunidad, y si se reduce este medio, entonces esto significa que de alguna manera se dan cuenta de las actividades que se realizan en cada reunión que tiene la mesa. Thank you.
So just real quick, also, you know, I appreciate the beacon, you know, I'm at Dino's and I'll pick it up and read it while I'm at Dino's. But, you know, the Boyle Heights Neighborhood Council is about giving opportunities to everyone. And I think, not to take away anything from the beacon, but let's try something with the Boyle Heights Beat, something else, you know. A lot of this news comes is through Facebook. There's a lot, each one of us, the Neighborhood Council has stuff on Facebook. I think we should push more. Again, I appreciate everything that the people have done for us in the last 2 years, because they've been out here, but I think we gotta try something different. And I think that's what it's about, trying something different for us, giving the people the opportunity, giving the East Side Journal the opportunity also. So I think, I appreciate the people and appreciate what they've done, but let's try something different. So that's it. Thank you.
Hi, Thank you, thank you. I did want to say that I also agree that this is a really good resource that we use. I know that you are so welcoming in having anybody really submit a news article. I know I submitted one recently, right? So I really appreciate that. I do understand what the brother was saying too, that we should go to different avenues, but I would still like to keep us in here, you know, if anything, maybe we could ask you all to potentially add something on Facebook, you know, why not have you all expand yourselves, right? But I still think we should stay here. Thank you.
Bueno, hola, buenas tardes, mi nombre es Antonio García y represento el área número 3 y pues esta información es muy valiosa para todos nosotros. Inclusive yo este formulario cada vez que voy allá para ir borrar al City Hall los días jueves, allá llego y siempre lo ando buscando porque en mi rato libre me pongo a estar mirando lo que está aconteciendo en lo que está aconteciendo aquí en nuestro distrito, pues el área aquí en Boyle Heights, el Sereno y Borra, que es el mismo. Y pues yo veo que esto es importante y pues llego allá y lo tomo gratis y pues está bien que siga adelante. Lo apoyamos, gracias.
I know George for a very long time, when the paper was The Voice. But I have to say, some of you have conflict of interest on this. Because the one that gets a lot of articles is Carlos. That's not right. Okay? There's no information on this about Boyle Heights. There's no reason why I want to pick it up. Okay, first of all, there's too much advertising. And I'd rather not. And I love newspapers. I will read any newspaper that I come across. If I don't read a newspaper one day, I have the craving to read. That's how bad I am. Okay, if I don't get my newspaper in the morning, I call right away. But I'm sorry, George. This is not a Boyle Heights paper. There's no information. And there's a lot of things going on in Boyle Heights that you have not bothered to even look into it. Excite is one of them. Resurrection, many things that are going on here. The cleanup. There's never any messages on this. And I never see this paper unless I come here to a general meeting that he brings it in. Other than that, there's no other place that I could see it. The other thing is that EGP will advertise free for the neighborhood council and state what your meetings are. So why do you have to pay? EGP is the one that I read all the time, and I have to go look for it too. But that has more articles about Boyle Heights than any other newspaper. So I would prefer for you not to spend money on this newspaper until this newspaper moves into Boyle Heights, which it hasn't. And the other thing is the Boyle Heights Beat is a fantastic paper. The money that you're giving is not just for the paper, but for students, for educating our children in the news, becoming editors, becoming news people. So you're supporting more than our newspaper at the Boyle Heights Beat. And I really like the Boyle Heights Beat. And maybe I'm prejudiced against anything else, but the Boyle Heights Beat has information about Boyle Heights and the students. Thank you.
Thank you, Perry. We're going to go for the call for the vote. Is that correct?
Call motion to approve the quarter-page ad for 6 issues of the Community Beacon.
Yeah, I'd like to speak in favor of the motion. I'd like to point out that the big article on Memphis High School in Royal Heights, and a big picture of the athletic team, the girls' athletic team, the girls' and men's athletic team. If I can look at it, on page number 17. There's also a big article, excuse me, please, and this is also a big article on Roosevelt High School English and Spanish. And secondly, it is bilingual. So, and also, hopefully, topic of interest, I don't see in the article by Carlos Lopez of this issue. You gotta read it. So I think it's fair to the motion. Thank you very much.
Do you get your articles free or do you pay for it?
I don't have any articles.
Yes, you do. I need to correct that already.
Okay, something about it.
We are going to do a vote on this. All those in favor? Okay, just a second. Can Fanny, do you have a paper for me, please? Marisol Sanchez? Stephen Amazon? Alvaro de Pozo? Yes. Nicole? Fanny, yes. Margarita? Philip de Pozo? Yes. Beatrice is absent. Maria Campo? Antonio? Yes. Diana? Yes. Joe Diaz? Absent. Actually, you can. Judge General for you. Thank you. Carlos Montes? Yes. Carlos Montes. Joe Miller? Thank you. Rafael? Yes. Minor? Yes. Anthony is absent. And have any of the new members taken? Marisol? Yes. He said yes. Antonio, you haven't, no te has tomado el curso todavía, ¿verdad? Para poder votar. O no, tú ya lo tomaste. ¿Tu respuesta es sí o no? Sí. Oh, sí, ya. Okay. Thank you. I'm sorry. This is the two. All right. So we have one. So it passes with 15 votes. We only need 10 with 15. Gracias. I've been asked if to that we would like to move an item on the agenda. Do we have a motion for that, Nicole? I'd like to move item E to item B. I also want to make a motion. Okay, we're done. It's not on the agenda. It's not on the agenda though. Okay, right now we're in the middle of a motion. Diana second, the motion by Nicole, second by Diana. I'm sorry, what was the order? Number E will become B. Okay, all those in favor, say aye. All those against, say no. There's one no. Anyone abstaining? Yes. You don't need to explain that. Okay. That goes forward. Okay, and I think we have another motion, Fanny. Making a motion to move item D into C. Do I have a second on that? Do I get a second? Nicole seconds. Call for the vote. All those in favor? becomes C. So the next thing we're going to be on is rules and election, and then we will go to the budget, and then planning and land use is D, and neighborhood committee is E. So just follow the agenda, please. Okay. So now we are on rules and election. Nicole? All those in favor to move budget and finance to call the rules and election, make it letter C, say aye. All those against? One. Raise your hands, please. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 against. Against moving it. 9 against. Let's do all those in favor, raise your hand again, please. All those in favor of moving it, raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7, it does not go, we will therefore do it in order. It will follow the neighborhood committee. Okay, so planning and, so I'm telling you the order now. Rules and election is B, planning and land use is C, neighborhood committee is D, and budget and finance will be E. Okay, we are now on rules and election. Nicole?
Thank you, Vera. Thank you, Stephen, for providing a great update regarding where we are at with elections. As Stephen has stated, we have 26 registered candidates as of 11:59 p.m. last night, which is when the website closed, or the filing date closed for Boyle Heights Neighborhood Council. I'd like to thank Stephen for all his efforts in getting out the word in regards to elections and all our board members. We have a candidate forum coming up on May 7th. Thank you, Franklin, for helping me set that up. The candidate forum is a great opportunity to come out and meet all of the candidates that are running. It will be hosted here at BH City Hall from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Candidates will have an opportunity to make a statement, share their views, and the community will have an opportunity to network, talk with candidates, as well as ask them questions. Right now, I'd like to take a moment and see if we actually have any of the candidates that did register here with us. I know several of our board members have registered, but first I'd like to give the community members a moment. Are any people, okay, if you have registered, you're one of our 26, please stand up. I'd like to give you an opportunity to say your name. Taking the bold step of joining the Boyle Heights Neighborhood Council. Jason, we'll go ahead and start with you. You can say your first and last name and just the position you're running for.
Jason Gallego, and I'm running for community. Yeah.
Thank you, Jason.
My name is Jared Hamill. I'm here from Chicago, actually, but I'm also a member of community group Centro CSO, and I'm running for community.
Thank you, Jared.
Good afternoon. My name is Dan Morales, and I'm running for
Great, thank you, Dan. I'd like to go around the table. If you are running for re-election, again, your first and last name and the position you're running for. Thank you to our board members who have bravely signed up for re-election. It's wonderful, wonderful.
My name is Marisol Sanchez, and I'm running for community. For what? Community. Same time.
Thank you for your commitment this past year.
My name is Carlos Montes. I am running for community seat on March 12th.
Mi nombre es Antonio García y yo estoy trabajando en el área número 3. Gracias.
Antonio García, area 3.
And I'm Rafael Chagoya. I'm running for re-election for our community seats also. Thank you.
And I'm Nicole Martin, and I'm running for area 1. I would like to commend everyone that has registered, taking the time out, especially to our returning board members. We're excited. The real work starts now. Again, elections are May 21st. They will be hosted here. It's a Saturday, and there will be a 4-hour block of time to come in and vote between 11 a.m. and I believe 2 p.m. Is that right? Yeah, 11 to 2 p.m. It is self-affirmation. If you live, work, or have a continuing interest in the community, you're able to come out and vote. There is no documentation required, so please encourage your friends, your family, your neighbors, your colleagues to come out on May 21st and cast their vote. It's crucial for the neighborhood as well as for the council. So good luck to everyone, and I look forward to working with all of you in the next 2 months to get our boards seated. Thank you.
Thank you for registering. Okay, we now have planning and land use. Marty Bedoya is the chair.
So just a couple of updates from the planning and land use, and I know we have one of our presenters here. So there is there's a form in the back that you can grab and take. So the City of Los Angeles, the planning department is going through a project that is, they're calling Recode LA. And so this is an initiative that will be taking part over the next couple of years, but the first iteration of this plan will be happening here in Boyle Heights. And so I just want to draw folks' attention. They're not able to be here, but there is a community meeting that is happening in this room on Saturday, April 16th. And that meeting will be from 9 a.m. until noon in this building. So it'll be, they'll have a presentation, there'll be translated materials. If you have any folks who are Spanish speakers, there will be materials for them. And just to give you some background, Recode LA is an initiative to essentially change zoning codes that currently exist around the city. So if there's any planning documents on the Planning and Land Use Committee, we generally see folks coming in because they're looking for an exception to the rule in order to be able to build whatever they're trying to build. So in some cases, if folks are trying to build housing, for example, they'll come in and they'll be looking for an exception. How many folks can live in that building? So density exception is something that they're seeking. So it's great for us because it provides an opportunity for the community to weigh in and give some input, and the city takes that into account before approving those exceptions. But in terms of keeping track and understanding why buildings get built, where they get built, it's confusing, and I think probably only 5 people in this entire city, probably entire state, understand LA's zoning. So that's going to be changing. It's becoming a lot simpler, which is a good thing for us and it's a good thing for community, so that we're aware and it's more transparent as to why things get built, where they get built. So I highly recommend that folks come out for that meeting on the 16th. The presentation is really great, so again, I highly recommend that you come out and you bring out any folks that might have an interest in having that conversation. Lastly, on that piece, the community plan for Boyle Heights has been in the works. They've been revising it for quite some time. The rezoning is separate from the community plan. So I know some folks have asked me about that. If you want to simplify it, the zoning is the process that a developer has to go through in order to be able to build what they want to build. The community plan is a vision that the community has for how they want to see the neighborhood be developed. So both of those things should be working in concert in order to, ideally, if we're doing it right, providing the necessary resources that a community needs. And it's based off of exactly what current residents are asking for and are currently in need of. So the community plan is another conversation that will be happening, but I just want to be clear that the rezoning conversation is separate from the community plan conversation, but there's no reason why it can't be brought up in that meeting, so just FYI.
What time?
This is on the 16th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. in this room. And it's on this sheet, so you can see there's a couple of them happening around the city, but ours is really critical for folks to come out because we're the first place where they're going to start to do this. So it's really important. And not to taint your thinking, but originally this was going to start in downtown LA. So some of my feedback to them is that we don't necessarily build skyscrapers in Bow Heights. So in terms of the types of examples and the zoning that they're looking at, it might need to be tweaked a little bit for a residential area, which is what Boyle Heights currently is. So with that, I'm going to move to the next item, and I know that we have our presenter here. So let me just put the motion on the table before I let them. There's actually, sorry, no motion. This is a report or an update on a local group that is interested in, at least at this point, gathering some feedback and just putting folks on alert for an issue that's come up in front of the Planning and Land Use Committee in the past, which is the approval of new alcohol licenses in the neighborhood, which for some folks you may know, we have a high concentration of alcohol licenses already in the neighborhood. So I want to invite Paula Escobar to come up and go ahead and present a little bit on what this initiative is. And again, this is just informational for both the board and the community with no action being taken. So we'll take public comment after the presentation and any questions as well. Within 5 minutes.
I just want to take a moment to introduce ourselves. We are from the Coalition to Prevent Alcohol-Related Harms in LA Metro. We're really focusing on substance abuse prevention and health issue that's often very overlooked in our community, that really impacts youth and families in such a huge way, in such an intimate way. So right now we're working on a campaign to reduce access and availability of alcohol in our communities. And we work in Koreatown, people even in Westlake, Hollywood, Boyle Heights. So that's why we're here today. Thank you.
So as a coalition, as COCOM, we're proposing bringing an ordinance to LA that is modeled after an ordinance that has been in place in San Francisco for a few years already, and it's worked for them. It would be an alcohol restricted use sub-district ordinance, and what it would do would be to create these areas throughout the city that already have way too many alcohol outlets, specifically liquor stores. We're thinking off sale, like the liquor stores in the market. There's already too many places where youth and families can potentially access alcohol, right? So the ordinance would put a cap. It would say no more licenses can come into this area because we're going to protect it from being even more saturated, even more concentrated. So I know that we understand that both kind of already doing amazing work. We're doing amazing work in stopping new licenses from coming in, and part of that is from a lot of the activist work that has been going on for years in the community. But if I understand it correctly, it's not in writing yet, right? So the moratorium is not in writing. So what this would do is put that in writing. So this could be a really good way to safeguard. So if there are any changes in positions, LAPD, City Hall, any changes in staff, you would still have to fall back on it. Because that could still continue to be a problem. So that's what we're hoping to do, and we're hoping that other communities that are like Boyle Heights that already have way too many liquor stores around could also benefit from the practices around it. So Vince, do you want to? So like I said, other communities are also oversaturated, right?
So we're actually holding a community forum next month in April. We have a flyer, it's that yellow one. So we're holding a community forum here in Boyle Heights on April 21st at Resurrection Church to address the issue that Paula mentioned about the overconcentration here in Boyle Heights. So it's an open opportunity for community members to voice their concerns,
about liquor licenses in their community, but it's also an opportunity for our guest speakers. We're actually having Franklin, who's the field deputy for Councilmember Mutar's office, and also Cynthia Gonzalez, the neighborhood prosecutor, to talk about the efforts that have been made since those initial efforts in 2012 by community members like Terry to address this issue. So it's really to hear about the progress that's been made since then. And we actually had a mirrored event in East Hollywood just last Thursday, addressing the overconcentration issue that they have. We had over 60 participants come. They heard from speakers, the neighborhood prosecutor in their community, and they were able to sign petitions urging the city to address the issue. So we're hoping to actually have, a bigger turnout here in World Heights, because, we know that we're entering a community that's already been so engaged on the issue. So we're really excited to have our community forum, and we really hope to have your support and to see you with you.
So I also have very reference the sample ordinances from San Francisco, and I can use that as my next week for the plan. I know others members got them. Thank you. Thank you very much.
If anyone has any questions, you can meet with him after the meeting, or if you can do a sidebar, that'll be fine. We're trying to continue this meeting. Last time we went way over, and I want to make sure we get everything included today. But thank you so very much. Okay, the next thing we have is the neighborhood committee. Before we start, Rafa and Marisol, Franklin has asked for us to be part of the cleanup. And I know you've done all the other cleanup. And before we go into our agenda, this is here from the brewery, and he wants to make a little one. It's not even a presentation because we're not going to vote on anything because it's not on the agenda. But he's more than welcome to speak on it, and then he's going to ask the board if we can consider it at the next general board meeting.
Sorry, I just wanted to make sure that it comes to the side so I'm not trying to get right here. Sorry, I want you to go ahead. Hi, again, my name is Lucy Sanchez. Thank you for having us here today. I'm here with Kevin O'Malley from Indie Brewery, located at right there at 7th and Anderson. If you go west on 7th Street, going over the 101 freeway, before you get to the Ellen River, there's a big orange building that's been rehabilitated. That's located on the back on Sunrise Street. The reason that we're here today is actually because Indie Brewery is in the process of applying for a tasting room as a part of their license that they have right now to currently brew. We had submitted, just for the record, we had an outreach to Barrett, to Rafael, to be on the agenda, to formally be on the agenda, present on it, but for some reason something happened, so we didn't make it on the agenda, so that's what we're here. But we still want to speak and get this. We'll worry about that next time. So, but still want to get the opportunity to talk to you today, and so I want to just introduce Kevin, so you can go ahead and take the words to start.
I'll keep it quick since we're running over. Kevin O'Malley, I'm one of the owners of Indie Brewing, two other partners. We just wanted to come to introduce ourselves, talk to the community and the neighborhood council, to explain what a brewery and a tasting room is, what it's not. We know there's sensitivity to alcohol here. We actually already have a license, but we're a different type of license. We're type 23. That allows us to manufacture beer, just beer on the premises. And then we can also serve the beer that we manufacture to people who come in and taste it. It's almost like a wine tasting. We don't. do not sell liquor whatsoever. There's no liquor. We can't sell any other beer. We don't sell 40s. We don't sell 6-packs. People come in and try the beer. Another thing, we're in a commercial zone. There's no houses, churches, schools, parks. There's 1,000 square feet of us. And, you know, we're going to have security. We already put floodlights up to light up all of Anderson Street. We're going to have security guards. All our staff are STAR certified, which means it's a program that makes you go through to make sure you're on top of water alcohol awareness. Our hours, we're only going to be open until 10 o'clock, Tuesday through Thursday. We won't be open Monday. Friday and Saturday, we're closing at 11 p.m. and Sundays we're going to close at 6 p.m. So we're not open at 2 a.m. We're not looking to have trouble. It's more a place that, you know, people just come, sample local products. We put a lot of work into the building. It's an empty warehouse, so we're trying to create jobs, trying to create tax revenue in the community, and like I said, I was trying to push short. So that's it. I just want to basically stress the difference between us and bars.
And just to add to things, the community engagement did just started going on for the better part of the last year or so. We met with the Boys Chamber of Commerce, who's actually supportive of the effort. We met with individuals throughout the community. We met with Terry on several occasions and conversations. We actually presented for the Home CTAP, where we had a 7-to-1 vote to not oppose the application. Part of the comment that part of the things I was really happy about was in our engagement and conversation with people. Individuals that kept the guys expressed that they're not concerned with these types of licenses. This is not what they're really. We live with nuisance issues, which is an issue in our community, which we're very much aware of. This is not that kind of environment. This is more about dealing with a product that's done on a small scale, in a small environment, generally employed by working professionals. And you're dealing with the price points and a lot of the issues to access to alcohol you're dealing with. For example, we can do the comparable side that the price point of one bottle is more than the 12-pack of like Bud Light. So when you're starting to realize the kind of engagement and the quality of the work, it really is kind of, you know, that you would see like at a San Antonio winery, that kind of environment. So it's a very distinct difference. So I want to make sure that we touch on that. We're very much open to meeting and talk to anybody in the community here at the brewery anywhere, and answering any questions. But, you know, that's where we're welcome to come for us today. And thank you all for your time. Oh yeah, if you want to come by and see, we're more than glad to schedule a time so you can come check out the place. We had a small little open house with a few people in the past, but it was just more so you can really see what the transformation process is, and really when you start seeing something firsthand like that, it really, you know, it really starts getting you to start seeing the work that goes on.
Great, thank you so very much. And like I said, we'll consider it in our agenda for the next
Okay, real quick, how many hourly employees does the brewery have?
So right now, because we just opened in December, so it's really me and my two partners doing everything right now. But we actually already have someone from the neighborhood that's helping us bottle when we can. So we already have delivery drivers, people working, bar. I mean, once we open, you know, in full blast.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Now we're going to the neighborhood committee items. First item being an overview presentation of DACA and DACA resolution by Boyle Heights neighborhood board members. This is a time-sensitive item which, without coming federal court's decision and the above-mentioned actions. Copy of proposed resolution has been provided for this Boyle Heights neighborhood council board meeting. Presenter for this item is fellow board member Maria Ocampo.
Thank you for allowing me to This is better? Okay. I'm going to kind of be reading off this because I don't want to miss anything. It's very important that the community hears what the resolution is about, just because it affects all of Boyle Heights. Prominently, Boyle Heights is, Mexican American, and many of our families are Latin here. On June 15, 2012, President Obama announced different actions for childhood revivals, which means if you were here before your 16th birthday and you were here in 2007 and you have continuously resided in the United States, you were able to receive a 2-year renewable work permit, allowing you to, exchange whatever work resources you had before, which were, really bad. So this means that these students that came here at the age of 4, 5, 6, or 7, whatever age, are now allowed to work here. And this means that they can now actually go on to get a better job, go on to go into higher education. They are allowed to seek resources. They can go to the tech center with Joe and seek resources because now they do have a valid Social Security. As you know, Social Security, having a Social Security is very important here in the U.S. If you don't have one, you're literally in the shadows. So it's very important, and I hope that all of the board members do understand that this does affect all of our residents. Each of us know at least one person in this community that does not have a legal status. Also, I don't know if you guys know, but President Obama announced on November 20, 2014, the Deferred Action for Parental Accountability, which means parents of United States and residents are able to get a work permit, which means that now the parents of these children are going to be able to get a better job. There's going to be a better unity in the community, and as you know, Boyle Heights is very cultural. We love our families. We're always having barbecues every Sunday, every Saturday. We're very family united. So this means this will have an effect towards deportation. They will stop, not necessarily so much, but it would allow these parents to be more with the children. It would allow these students to actually have that unity and, to grow in a really community-centered, community family-centered, and it would actually, help them create a better life. I actually met a student at the park the other day, and he told me, well, if I had that, it would keep me out of trouble because I would be able to have a work permit. I would be able to actually go work. I wouldn't be in the streets. I wouldn't just be hanging out in the park. So it's very important. This is very time sensitive, like Rafael said. The court will be hearing this case, which is the United States versus Texas, on April 18th, which, determines the lives of many of the residents here in Boyle Heights. If you go outside and you're like, oh, hey, do you know this person that can be benefited out of Dawa? They'll be like, yes, I know a person that can be benefited out of Dawa. If we go out and walk and do community outreach, our whole community is predominantly Mexican American and they're undocumented. And this is nothing that, we can't hide this. This is the truth. There's facts to this. There was Governor Greg Abbott from Texas filed a lawsuit against President Obama, which means that now they're going to court. The Supreme Court will hear the case. So once again, it's very time sensitive and it is very important to our community. It is extremely important, especially for our young. Our young are going to be able to have a better skills. They're going to be able to receive better resources. So once again, thank you for having me, and I hope you guys support this resolution because me being the young board member here, I hope that you guys actually take it into consideration and listen to this because it affects our community a lot. So thank you. Thank you very
much. Mr. Takamori was also very helpful with Maria Ocampo on this issue, so I want to thank him too.
Maria works with this on a daily basis. Something she forgot to mention.
Okay, thank you. We only have 4 more minutes on this, so I'm going to take 2 from the board and I'll take 2 from the community. Okay, Joe?
Yeah, just as a board member, I just want to commend Maria. As a former case manager first, I've seen how much she's grown. This issue for her is not just her issue, it's like she said, it's an issue of the Boyle Heights community. There's a lot of U.S. citizens, but there's a lot of undocumented here. And someone like Maria who's stepped up and fought for these kind of issues as a young girl, now being a board member, I just commend her back.
I know you asked me to talk, you have 1 minute.
It'll be brief. I don't need that. I'm an activist. I'm with Central CSO, and I urge the board to support the resolution. Not only with thousands of families here benefit from it, but millions across the United States. And it is a time-sensitive issue because before the next board meeting, the Supreme Court's already going to start hearing this case. So I really urge people to support this. It's very, very important. We're talking stop deportations, working licenses in other states. I mean,
Thank you very much. Can I get a motion for this, please? Carlos?
Yes, I'd like to make a motion for all Neighborhood Council adopt the resolution and support it for further action. We have a copy here.
Everyone has a copy.
Federal court, which would uphold the racist Republicans. So right now, the resolution appropriate. I hope everybody supports it. It's unanimous. We got this guy named Donald Trump.
Thank you very much. Thank you. All right, we're going to call for the vote. Okay, you know, please, we're having a motion on the floor.
I just wanted to show my support for DAPA as well.
Let her speak.
My name is Jessica Leon. I just wanted to support DAPA, and I hope everybody votes in favor for our simple. But thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we're going to call for the vote. All those in favor, raise your hand. All those in favor, raise your hand. That's unanimous. Maria, if you could please get the information on where this should be sent, etc., and send it out. Well, Beatrice will be back in a week, so we'll give it to her and she'll send that out for the call for that vote. Okay, we're on our last item, which is the budget committee. Before we start, please hurry. All right.
Last item for neighborhood committee. Motion to have the Boyle Heights Neighborhood Council join the Neighborhood Council's Sustainability Alliance. Presenter Lisa Hart, Steering Board Member, NCSA.
can make this as quick as possible and still have our budget going, I appreciate it. No problem.
Okay, sorry. Hi, my name is Lisa Hart. I'm with the Neighborhood Council Sustainability Alliance. As you know, as we discussed earlier, we have a lot of environmental challenges across the city. We're looking at climate change. We have real parts for local issues like Exide, and another issue is Proyecto Jardín. We are a group trying to create an alliance of neighborhood councils across the city working on these issues. We have, I think, 16 members now out of the 96 neighborhood councils. We'd love to get 30 really high-quality neighborhood councils, and we'd love for you to join us. What we do, we've been around for about a year or so. We actually just held the forum on developing green committees on May 12th, right after the Exide effort, on March 12th. And what we're doing is sharing best practices, learning from each other instead of reinventing the wheel, creating a network that can support each other. And one of the most important things we're working on doing and why we want your membership is we want to take positions on issues that are before City Hall. So we want to get organized and get strategic and get coordinated and say to City Hall, this is what we want you folks to do. When I don't know how many of you know about community impact statements, but for example, on the docket issue, you'll probably submit a community impact statement, or maybe not, it's not anyway, city issue. If it's a specific city issue, you can submit something to City Hall. And what I see when I look on these issues is maybe 5 neighborhood councils took a position on this one, and maybe 6 took a position on another one. So we're not working strategically. Our efforts are being dispersed and diffused in a way that isn't serving us. If we get together, and if we get united, and if we support each other, we'll be much, much stronger. So I'd love for you folks to join us, and I'd love for you folks to choose a representative, or 2, or 3, or 4. It doesn't have to be out from your board. It could be from the community. It can be however you folks want to make that happen, so that you folks can participate in the voting. Because we are going to take positions on issues and submit those positions to City Hall. I'd say questions and comments, but I don't know if I have time.
Question, comment.
No, it's okay.
I apologize. Well, I thought she meant general. She never said the board.
Which are the other neighborhood councils that are near Coral Heights that are on here?
I think the ones that are closest are like Silver Lake, Highland Park, Atwater Village, Rampart, those right there. We have a lot from the valley, a lot from that area. We're really weak in South LA and really working to do outreach and West LA we're actually weak in also. But we are getting stronger and doing a really hard for our outreach effort now.
Perfect. Anyone else?
Sí. Nos parece muy interesante lo que está comentando la conformación de una alianza, donde se inviertan todos los esfuerzos. Porque de esa manera se puede tener mayor constitución y fuerza. En las necesidades que tienen las comunidades. La contaminación es un tema. El problema que estaba viendo de la contaminación de Exide, de la contaminación del smog. Entonces me parece interesante que sí se constituya un grupo determinado.
I think it's a very interesting work, and I think that we should have some representatives from this group.
Aquellos que estén interesados, yo me apunto para estar.
I would like to be one of them, and I would like to invite others to join me in this effort.
Yeah, my question is this in terms of what's the decision-making process, and then who gets to decide in terms of what are the issues that are taken on by the coalition?
So that's a really good question, and we work with your board. That part is for you folks to figure out however you like. But the representative will take the vote, and then that will be the NCSA's position. It's also possible that a member of the neighborhood council could take a position that's different from what the NCSA takes. Does that make sense? Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, we're now going to, on the Budget and Finance Committee, on this item.
I'm sorry, to take a vote. I came last month to introduce this.
Do I have a motion on this?
Motion to have the elected neighborhood council join neighborhood council sustainability.
I'll second that.
Stephen made the motion, and Raphael is seconding that on item the neighborhood committee, item 2. All those in favor? All those in favor, raise your hand. It's unanimous. Thank you very much.
We need to select representatives.
Pardon me?
We need to select.
Okay, do I have? No, we do not. I'm sorry, Terry. Okay, we had one no, excuse me. Thank you. Philip, we had one no on that last vote, it was minor. Okay, now we need 2 volunteers, is that correct?
Well, let's be representatives.
Okay, I need 2 representatives to volunteer to be part of this. Do I have 2 volunteers? Maldonado, anyone else? And Nicole. So we have Maldonado and Nicole, and she'll look into the information. Thank you so very much, Lisa. Okay, the next item is the Budget and Finance Committee. When we last closed our last meeting, we didn't really end this completely. So I'm going to do a recap. I'm going to ask the Budget and Finance Chair, Fanny, to please give me a recap on the NPGs and where we stand. Fanny?
It's kind of hard to go to the recap without the minutes, but I'll go through some of the ones. The list you have? Is that the list of the NPGs? Well, out of all the NPGs, only one has been paid for, and that one is for Los Abuelitos, which was already approved. Nothing was wrong with the paperwork. The second one is for, that I received an email was in regards to, I know, those are the ones I'm discussing, but if I don't have the minutes, I can't discuss them either way because there's a lot of changes that are going to happen on those minutes. The only thing I can tell you right now is about that Los Abuelitos was already paid for. The other ones are still pending. There was a problem with one of them who was not having a original signature, so that's going to get worked out. So that's all I can tell you in regards to those things. No, they haven't been approved. Whatever was approved when I was present was submitted the paperwork, but I still need the minutes to do it.
But I know you left before vote. We need to do a revote on vote.
I need the minutes to see if it needs to be done. I need the minutes for that.
Okay, so as far as you know, there's a lot of minutes that you have.
Well, I need to see the minutes to make sure because there was people voting that weren't supposed to vote. So that's the only thing, and I don't want to.
And I know those people that were people were here, blah, blah. Okay, so we actually have 2 more that can vote today, so we will let you get it. Okay, so I want everyone to understand we're re-voting on vote pack because when we voted on vote pack, people were leaving, people were here, people were all over, there was a lot of confusion. Okay, so all those in favor of vote pack, and I know it was amended for the 3,000. If I can get a motion, please.
It's not in the agenda though, and I have.
I was told by Ivan last
It has to be in the agenda.
Not if it was something that we're correcting from last week where it was on the agenda. There is a precedent, okay, if it's no good, we'll have to do it again, but let's try it, because that's what I was told I can do. So I will do that.
But we were also told that it has to be in the agenda in order for us to be able to vote on it. It's not in the agenda. So you're, I'm not prepared for that one. I don't have paperwork to do anything on that right now. I'm only prepared to do what's on the agenda.
Okay, we're gonna take a vote, and then I will talk to them tomorrow. I wanna get this over and done. We have only one that's completed, and we only have one more month to get our money spent. I mean, we're at that point. So,
The fiscal year is not over until May. The fiscal year is not over until May.
who seconded that? Dylan second. Okay, and we have, Manuel call the names, and please answer yes, no, abstain, or you're not out. Yes. Rafael?
Yes.
Danny? No. Steven?
Abstain.
Minor?
It's really transparent. So besides the merits of the application, I also, we don't have minutes. I feel like we don't know the minutes. It may have been approved last session. We have no idea.
So you were in here in your discussion.
Right, we should bring the minutes today. So,
I was not,
I just feel like we don't actually have the minutes to prove whether we approved or whether we approved. Today, it's not on the agenda. We also don't have the application packet with the agenda. So it just seems disingenuous to say we have to do it. It's not transparent. So I say no, but I want
if
it.
you're going to know what is an explanation, I will put that as part of the whole part of the report. Vote? I'm going to abstain. Right, vote, no. Antonio Garcia?
No.
Joel?
No.
Margarita? Philip?
Yeah.
Joe? Carlos Montes?
Yes.
Diana, yes. Maria Ocampo? Carlos Ortiz? Soto? Anthony Soto? Juan Romero?
Puedo votar.
Oh, yeah, but.
Okay,
And also, he submitted an approval last year for the other proposal. He sent me an email back, and then I got a response from him.
That's for last fiscal year, not this year, but that's the one of the ones that was rejected because they didn't have the 501c was not matching with the paperwork for the NPG. So this information was given to the organization. They never submitted a new application so recently with the proper name on the NPG matching the 501. The names did not match, and it was returned by the moving forward, the discussion and possible action to approve the February 2016 MER. For the month of February, we spent a total of $612.19. Is there any questions regarding the MER?
I'd like to make a motion for discussion and possible action to approve February 2016 MER.
It was only 66. Check the doctor's name on there.
I guess, I mean, I know it's not much money, but I kind of want to question like the expenditure for Target. Like, I mean, where are those employees? Because I mean, you know, I go to the office to the cubicle and there's plenty of pants, there's, you know, paper bits, calendar, we need a calendar for, so, you know, can you please elaborate on that? First of all, it's my understanding that office space is only for the president and myself to use. But if you need me to elaborate, I need other items that I need to use, like attaching the receipts. So there's certain paperwork that is colorful that I need to use for that. And pens that I need to use, a calendar to make sure that I keep up with the meetings that I have to post, and all that stuff.
Fanny, is this part of the original amount that we voted on at the beginning for our office supplies? Are you still using part of those monies?
Still using those monies. I still need to go buy batteries that day. I happened to go look for these batteries because you asked me to get them, but I couldn't find them, and I ended up getting the other stuff I do need.
All right, so the items, this amount was actually part of the first amount we voted on, and she's still using that amount. Okay.
Can I call the vote now? Marisol Sanchez? Steven? Rita?
Yes.
Nicole? Fanny, yes. Margarita?
Yes.
Philip? Yes. Beatrice is absent. Maria? Antonio? Diana?
Yes.
Joe? Carlos Montes?
No.
Joe Ojeda? Rafael?
Yes.
Minor? Marisol? And Baldomero? Gracias. So it passes to 13 votes. Thank you. So now moving forward, the second item, discussion and possible action to move under Action LA for Proyecto Jardín. The MPG originally was for $5,000, and we voted to approve it for $3,000, to recommend for $3,000. Is there any questions?
So this is for Proyecto Jardín, but it's based on Hunger Action LA. So I think this was sponsored. So we just happened before with other organizations. So I'm looking at the 501c, you can see this line in here. In the front. It says, yeah.
Sorry, motion to discuss and vote.
I just wanted to point out a technicality that the 501c3 says Hunger Action LA. Wait. So, yeah, but I understand the fiscal sponsor for Puerto Funding. I'm supporting that, right? But this has happened in the past with organizations where they use a fiscal sponsor technicality. Puerto Funding probably doesn't have a 501c3, so they're using Hunger Action LA, which is cool. That's happened in the past with other organizations which have been rejected and considered ineligible. So I brought up that point to you regarding the Youth Immigrant Justice Coalition. So that's my question, that you should explain thoroughly why the 501c3 is not the same as the other.
Okay, so I'll make it quick. Again, I mean, I have to agree with what Curtis is saying. So we can't pick and choose with entities with process. The coalitions was the same thing. It was a fiscal agent, and so you just purely said that it couldn't be a process because they didn't match. So obviously this doesn't match. The 501c3 is not matching to the applicant. So if we're going to take that stance, and that's going to be policy, procedure, whatever you want to call it, then it has to be fair across the board. We cannot have a process the other way because the 501c3 was a fiscal agent and the they did not. So yeah, this one is the same situation. So I'm not going to support this in the sense that I don't want to put ourselves in a situation where we're not being consistent, and we can't pick and choose, or I guess the treasurer make that decision ourselves to do that.
Okay.
Comentario acerca de la situación de las organizaciones que están bajo el paraguas con un agente fiscal.
This is in regard to the situation that we have again, where an organization is under another name.
Esto puede suceder y así se da porque nosotros lo pasamos antes del reino non-profit.
This happens. We have had this situation before. We have had non-profit that don't have a 501c3 and have used the sponsor name.
Porque el agente fiscal nos abre paraguas para que nuestra organización pudiera obtener fondos y ellos lo fiscalizan únicamente y pasan el dinero a la organización. Ese es el trabajo que así específicamente se
They
realiza.
have done this in the past. This is kind of what we're talking about right now. It's an umbrella organization, and they do it this way for fiscal purposes.
Yo creo que es correcto, ¿no? La cuestión es si se decide o no. Es correcta la forma de estar presentando.
Excuse me. Okay, I'm sorry, board. I know you want to finish, but it's not worth it to try to rush to something when we haven't even got comments from the general public. I move to motion this to the next meeting. All those in favor, please raise your hand. Can I have a second, please? All those in favor? You know what? All right, can I have all those in favor? Do this for the next meeting, please. Hold over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. To hold over. All those that want to continue with it, I don't know how you're going to do it. All those who want to continue? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. What was the first count? The first count was 8. I'm sorry. Okay, this will be for the next meeting, which is in April. Rafa will be doing that meeting. I will not be here. So I will be here for the executive meeting, but not for the general board meeting. And I'd like for everyone to take a moment and silence for Don Nakanishi. We had Dr. John Fernandez speak of him a moment ago. Thank you. A moment of silence. Thank you. If I could please have everyone please help us clean up. We've got to do this within 2 minutes. Thank you.